welcome to the first ever TED Talks Fitness video podcast. Today I have my friend and other coach in the fitness industry on today, and I interview him. His name is Austin Chan. I'll put all of his information and stuff down in the video description. There'll be the first couple links. Today I asked him about his personal journey, what helped him the most starting off, what information he found early on. We talk about alcohol, we talk about OnlyFans and cross-dressing, we talk about why being shredded to the bone is overrated, to-do lists, and much, much more. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, we got Austin Chan here. He's from Vancouver, Washington, but he was born in Canada secretly, right? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people actually make that mistake, but I'm from like Vancouver.
Really? It wasn't just me?
Yeah, it's not.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, because it's weird how it's just called Vancouver here. So like everyone just assumes it's Vancouver, BC.
Yeah. But Austin, man, I want to start this podcast off with something you shared on your Instagram story the other day. So do you remember you shared a personality type thing, right?
Oh yeah, the Myers-Briggs, yeah.
Yeah, so I went ahead and took it, and I don't know anything about it. Did you do any research into yours?
Yeah, did you go on that same website?
Yeah, 16 personalities.
Yeah, so I think at the end of the results, it has like a few pages that you can kind of go through, and it's like pretty detailed stuff. Like especially if you like answer like really honestly and you're like really thinking about those questions. Like for me at least, like I found that the answers were scary accurate.
Really? What was your thing again? What was your four letter
I think it was
acronym?
INTJ or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got INTJT.
Oh, nice. I think mine was like the -A or something.
Oh,
like
dash
like
A.
Yeah.
Wow. Assertive and turbulent architects here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I think it was legit, man, because I don't believe in astrology at all. Like, how about you?
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. I'm like,
this looked legit.
Mm-hmm.
But like I do agree with like some of the drawbacks of like you could change a little bit, you know, your personality.
Oh yeah,
that's
for sure.
Interesting, right? How accurate it was, like you said.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like especially if you read into like some of it, like specifically pertaining to like career paths or like family or like relationships, like just your overall like personality type, how well you do as in like a managerial position versus like working as like, you know, like a typical like employee. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And your workflow, right? When I read through that, I was like, holy fuck, this is exactly how I work. Oh man. But dude, I wanted to talk to you about, because I know you kind of have a problem with fitness, right? Like you're so obsessed, right? You're so obsessed. It's so easy for you. Remember, we talked about that last time on your podcast, right? So I kind of want to just ask you about your whole fitness journey, right? Like how you started. Like on your podcast, we talked about how I got into it when I was about 14 or 15 through Fight Club, Joe Delaney. And then I remember you started when you were like around 11, 12. And I wanted to hear about how you transitioned throughout that whole period until where you are right now.
Yeah, for sure. So started like lifting when I was 13. Although like I always want to say that like I wasn't super serious into it. Like I was never one of those people who were like super athletic. I'm like, oh yeah, I just love lifting. I like participated in like every single sport. I was known as like the well-rounded athlete. Like that was never me. I literally started going to the gym just because I had this one friend. He was like super fucking ripped. Like he legit had like the perfect like model six-pack. And like everyone knew him for that. And like his dad was a football coach. So he got him to like lifting and everything. And he would regularly go to the gym. So then like I guess one day he just brought like a few of us along with him, showed us like how to lift. And like basically, I mean, like we didn't follow like a standard routine or anything. Like we literally just went in there, did probably like 5 to 6 sets of bench and like maybe a few more sets of like back or some other stuff or like bicep curls or some random stuff that we like thought we wanted to do. And then that's pretty much it. Like we'd spend probably anywhere between like an hour to 2 hours at the gym just like fucking around. Yeah, so we did that. That was in like middle school. So that was pretty much that for like until about like I was 18. So it was like just really on and off. I did that in my free time. And then of course like I only really stayed consistent while like I was in school, because obviously like after school we're like, hey, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna go to the gym and mess around for a couple hours. So that was like a good pastime for us. And it was like really on and off. I would like all and like I didn't really get super serious into it, but it was like always something on the like the back of my head. I'm like, oh, what if I actually like kind of took this seriously? But then of course it just never like on my top priority list. So I'd go on and off, and then winter breaks, summer breaks, that stuff would kind of come up, and then I would stop going to the gym because I just didn't I didn't have the motivation, or I didn't have the drive to just go by myself. So then I would wonder why, like, obviously when you take some time away from the gym, you lose all your like gains and all your progress. So then like every time I took off, and then when school started back up and we started going with friends again, and then I started lifting, and like for some reason it just didn't click in my head at this time, but like I was just like, why did I lose all my strength and lose all my gains? And then I would like constantly just go through like these yo-yoing cycles through like those 5 years. And yeah, that was pretty much that. And it wasn't until I got into college that first year I like started kind of getting a little bit more serious into lifting, but also not really. I think one of my kind of first like quote unquote interactions, if you will, with like the fitness industry was through YouTube. I think one of the few like people whose videos I really came across who really like allowed me to like things like start clicking in my head was I think one of them was Jeff Nippard, and also the other one was Kinobody. Yeah. Yeah, and like honestly, like I've stopped following Kinobody, but like honestly his first like years of like doing stuff was actually pretty solid. Like he
Really?
was like he was huge into YouTube. He was huge into like writing blogs and stuff. And I think actually I like with about like 1 or 2 years ago, I think I came across a blog or YouTube video where like I think Mike Vacanti was in it.
No way.
Yeah,
You
I
remember
think
Mike Vacanti from back then?
no, I didn't know anything about Mike Vacanti, but like after like learning about him
Yeah.
like, through the mentorship and everything. And then like I guess like one day I just like decided I'm like, oh, what's going on with Kinobody? So I look through like some of his old stuff, some of the stuff that I used to check out, and then I saw Mike Vacanti. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, is that who I really think it is?
Oh, so you saw it after you knew about Mike Vacanti. You went
Yeah.
back. Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, so that was crazy. So I'm like, I mean, part of me is thinking like they probably kind of like came up back together, or they came up together in that space during that time, because I know that was back in probably like 2015 or 16, I think.
And you said you followed both like Jeff Nippard and Kinobody, but were you saying Kinobody was actually producing like good information back then?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, he was making like a lot of content around like calorie deficit, and like really
Oh,
keeping
wow.
keeping like fitness really simplistic, because at that point when I started to kind of like doing it by myself, I was also like following along like one of my bodybuilder friends who's like super into it. Like this dude was literally like he tracked macros, he tracked calories and all that kind of stuff. He had like a regimen that he followed every week, and like he was just known as like the bodybuilder guy. So like I tried to follow some of the stuff that he was doing. Like I literally just could not do it. Like I did for a while, like just out of like pure discipline and pure willpower, I tried following his like workout program. It was literally like a 7-day split.
Oh,
And like,
wow.
yeah. And I was probably in the gym for like 2 hours. I think like total number of exercises, if I can remember correctly, it was like 7 to 8 exercises.
2 hours per session?
Yeah. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. Like, I mean, I'd hit it hard for probably the first 2 exercises, and I literally remember the rest of the workout, I'm just like dreading to finish it.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
insane, bro. 2 hours, 7 to 8 exercises. That would I'd puke or something. I don't know. I'd quit immediately.
Yeah, and like somehow I just like kept pushing myself to do it. And like I saw like a decent amount of gains, but like I didn't think anything of it. I'm just like, oh, this dude's getting results doing this, so I'm just gonna follow what he did. And he's actually the first guy who introduced me to like MyFitnessPal and actually like tracking stuff. Yeah. And at that point, like I there was no like all these like fancy formulas, or like these good like reliable like fitness tips like we talk about now, like how you want to like slowly cut calories, or you want to like really dial things in. It was just like he told me to put my stats into MyFitnessPal, and whatever that number spit out, then you just follow that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was when? After college or during?
That was before, actually. That was like I think that was like 1 year before.
Okay. And then what did you go to college for?
So initially when I went to college, I was gonna be an engineer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I
And then-
declared nuclear engineering as my major.
And then you did it and you hated it?
I mean, I wouldn't say I hated it. I did that for about a year and a half. Like, I love the science. I love like, yeah, just learning about that subject, but it was nothing that I could see myself like doing for the rest of my life. Like, I always had this feeling that like, if I were to just take your typical 9 to 5 job and sit in like an office for like 8 hours a day, like that would be the absolute worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I like moving around. I like staying active and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
like,
Jeff agrees
yeah.
with that too, right? Jeff has the same mindset.
Jeff,
Pac-Man.
which Jeff? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. hmm Yeah,
That's
I think
awesome.
a lot of us as personal trainers, like we have that mindset. We're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Stay in one place for 8 hours.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Mhm.
And then what after college, is that when you really got into training and nutrition? Like when you decided you didn't want to do engineering?
Yeah. So a year and a half in, that was also the same time I was really like spending a lot of time learning from like Jeff Nippert and Kinobody, and also like, through the YouTube algorithm, I started getting recommended to like a lot more other fitness people. And then I just like literally absorbed, like soaked up all this information like a sponge. And I was and things were starting to kind of click for me here, where I started learning more about like these basic concepts about like fitness and nutrition, focusing on progressive overload, focusing on like being efficient with your workouts, and really like nailing down like specific key movements. And like at that point, like I decided to invest in one of Kinobody's programs. I think it was like the warrior shredding one. And I did it for a little bit and I started getting a little bit of results, but like I don't think I was following the program to a T. Like there was still some stuff that like I didn't really like fully grasp or understand. But at that point, like I'm like, okay, I just know I have to focus on these specific lifts. And if I like get my calories in check and not follow like whatever my fitness pal recommends and get enough protein, that I'm going to get the results that I want. And
Right.
also like he was like super big on intermittent fasting. At that time, I thought intermittent fasting was some magical freaking thing.
Intermittent fasting and sparkling water.
Yeah.
Pellegrino.
Yeah, I remember drinking fucking sparkling water. I drank a LaCroix though. I wasn't as bougie.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was a broke ass college student. I couldn't afford San Pellegrino.
LaCroix. Another reason I know you're actually from Canada. Just sounds Canadian.
LaCroix.
LaCroix.
But yeah, let's see. Yeah, I did that for about like I want to say 6 months a year. I like started actually like seeing progress, and then that was when everything started clicking with me. And then at that point I was like, I kind of want to make a career out of this. So like what is like the next logical step for me was to actually just like pursue kinesiology, because I thought that's what I wanted. I wanted to learn more about the human body. I wanted to actually help people with their health and with their fitness overall. So I decided to switch over to kinesiology. That was like a huge kind of like turning point, or like a huge like jump for me. Like I was like, what am I gonna tell my parents, that I'm like not gonna like pursue an engineer? Because one of those things, I think it's very big in my family too, that like we all have some sort of like stable, steady job, and like yeah. So that was like a very like scary leap for me to just like jump into kinesiology without really having like some sort of like end plan. Like I didn't really know exactly what I was gonna make out of that major.
Right.
But I just decided to take the leap.
That's awesome, man. That story's good. People will like that, It's motivating to people like that. How old are you, Austin? You look so young, man.
Yeah. How old do you think I am?
I thought you were my age or younger. So I'm 25. I'll be 26 in like 2 weeks. But are you not? Are you 22, 23, 24, 25?
No, I am. We're actually the same age.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that is nuts. You're 25?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, people usually think I'm younger than I actually am.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess it's a compliment.
It's a compliment for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like I said, 45. But dude, okay, now I have some rapid fire questions for you. All right. So these are super serious, extremely serious. All right. Have you ever spent money on OnlyFans? All right, a quick break for our sponsor of today's podcast, from Transparent Labs. I work with Transparent Labs, and if you want to save 10% on all supplements, use code TED at checkout. And I believe and work with them for two main reasons. Number one, they're third-party tested. So what they say is in their products is actually in their product, and that's verified by a third party. And then that data is made public to you on Transparent Labs' website. Number two is they don't use proprietary blends like other supplement companies do to lie about what's in their product and inflate the product. So they use actual clinical doses, and then again, they third-party test that, right? So you know it's in there. And I don't care about this, but they don't use artificial sweeteners, dyes, or preservatives. Let's get back to the show.
No, I've not.
Okay. Do you have a to-do list?
Honestly, kind of, sort of.
Okay, let's go through that. What is your to-do list?
So I do have like a piece of paper right here where I'll write things down as I go, but like I don't really follow it religiously. Like if anything, I take advantage more of like Google Calendar, like listing all my events on there. Yeah, but in terms of like actually writing stuff down, I just like never like have the motivation or drive to do it. I know that a lot of people say like, oh, it's like the best thing in the world when you actually write it down. You're much more likely to remember it and all that. But I'm like, I just like literally cannot like find the drive to do that.
You do it. You have Google Calendar, so you schedule stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like that in itself, like that's my like number one thing. Like every morning I look at that, and that's gonna tell me what to do.
And wouldn't you say like that's made you more productive, made everything better, making a to-do list / calendar?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely giving me a lot more organization. Otherwise, like honestly, like without that, every day I would wake up and be like, what the fuck do I need to do?
Yeah.
And and it's like as I kind of check things off, like I'm always that kind of person where like if I have something to do, I need to do it right away or else I forget it. And that kind of helps me like remember and like helps me like prioritize things because my brain is always like just all over the place.
I think to-do lists are so amazing. So just wanted to get some more bias out here, make sure everybody knows to-do lists are the best. All right. Have you ever worn a dress or a skirt?
I can't say that I haven't, but I mean, the times I have, it was like a joke, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten your testosterone checked?
I have not.
All right.
I do want to eventually.
Yeah. Do it.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. Mike Vacanti, we were just talking about him. He just did it. He got 710.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm under that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 10 years older than us. What time do you wake up?
But lately around like 5 to 6 a.m.
And then what time do you go to bed?
Around like 9.
All right. What was your last grocery bill?
Last grocery bill. I think like $30 something.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. What did you get? What? $30?
That's just like my weekly stuff that I typically get. So like I actually kind of like structure out my like grocery trips too. So like usually I'll go to Costco maybe like twice a month, and that's when I like pick up a lot of stuff that's usually like 100 something, and that pretty much sets me up for like the next like 2 to 4 weeks. And that's like the stuff that like I know I can get in bulk. I know that's not gonna like go super bad, and yeah, that's stuff that I know it's gonna last me for a while. And then my weekly grocery trips is when I get like a lot of like my fruits and veggies and all that. Yeah.
So you're a big fresh fruit, fresh veggie guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I eat a ton of fruits and veggies.
Yeah, you're way better cook than I am. I could see just from your Instagram story. Way better. What was the last insult you got?
Last insult? I can't remember exactly what. I'm sure if I like dig through like I know YouTube Shorts, it's like that's way. Dude, that's I think that's the platform that like for some reason I just get like the most amount of shit.
You get shit on YouTube short comments?
Yeah, I don't know.
Little 13-year-old kids?
Yeah, I'm sure they're 13-year-olds. They're always some like fucking like anime picture.
Oh my god.
It's never like an actual profile picture.
All right, and then a positive last one for the rapid fire. What was the last compliment you got?
Last compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this is hard. I don't think about compliments, dude.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I'd say definitely the biggest one was like winning that article challenge and like
Oh
getting
yeah.
like a compliment from Leo Alves. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
in the mentorship. Yeah, he literally like DM'd me like a couple weeks like after the call, and like he's like, dude, congrats for winning. Congrats on winning. And then he didn't even say anything about the challenge. He just said congrats on winning. And like he made some sort of joke, and then I was like, what are you talking about, dude?
Oh, you didn't even
I,
know?
yeah, I didn't even know because I missed the call that day. I was actually on vacation.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, we were all talking about how beautiful your website was, bro.
Really?
Yeah, in the chat of the Zoom. We're like, holy shit. It was beautiful. But then, okay, more serious question now. Uh I remember, I think, tell me if I'm wrong here, but like you posted on Instagram that I don't know if it was like 2 years ago, but you said like you were done with being shredded and you knew it was time to like intentionally gain fat, gain weight, gain muscle, and you started bulking. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much. Because like I think because after, or not after, but like during that COVID period of like I want to say 2020, like March to around August, that was when I really started getting after it. And I was just like, you know what? Like COVID's gonna like keep me at home. I really have like nothing better to do. So I'm just gonna get really fucking lean. And so I did get lean, and that was like the leanest I've ever gotten in my life. Um if I had to put a number on it, I want to say I was around like 10% body fat. And like that's the leanest I've ever got. Like I literally like saw like striations and leanness like in places I've never seen before, which is like really fucking cool. But also like thinking back, like in that moment, I was like, I feel like I can keep going. But like thinking back now, I'm like, man, I felt like shit. Like I would not want to do that again.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So
never?
like
You wouldn't ever want to do that again?
not I kind of want to, but also at the same time, like as of right now, I just do not have like the motivation. Like
Right.
I don't really have the want to like get there again, like just like be able
Yeah.
to push my body. Like after having like maintained a high body fat percentage, being able to like be way stronger and just have more energy. Like I don't know if I'm willing at this point in time, I don't know if I'm willing to give up what I have now just to like get that same level of leanness
I think
again.
that's a great point, man. Like when you were that lean, around 10% body fat, that was during COVID.
Yeah.
Were you a personal trainer then?
No. So like after that happened, basically my in-person business just like froze because I was still working for the school gym. And like I think around that point, I think after that period, that was when I first came across like the online fitness business mentorship. And that's when I like towards kind of the tail end when things started opening back up, that's when I launched like my online business.
Right. So I think that's super important to hear is like you were so lean and business was kind of slow, right? Like you were in between because of COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
When clients are like, oh, I want to get shredded or I want to see veins in my abs, etc. Imagine being as busy as you are right now or having a full-time job or having kids and wanting to get that lean, like the impact that would have on your life. Like you'd be an asshole, but you just always feel fatigued, right? Were you always cold? Do you
Um,
remember that?
I don't think so because that was like during the summer, so
Oh,
like
okay.
I felt pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Although
remember.
like
Yeah.
I think as it kind of transitioned into winter, like I remember trying my best to like keep maintaining that like body fat percentage, and it was very hard. I did get cold. I was just like hungry and thinking about food all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food obsession, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever get so or you're like you deep in a deficit and like you finish your meals for the day, you finish your calories for the day, and the only thing you're thinking about is like, oh, I can't wait for breakfast, and it's like 8 p.m.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
I remember doing that. Yeah, I'm like I would eat like a massive freaking dinner too, and like I'm like I feel full for probably like half an hour, and then I'm like shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I don't want any calories. I guess I gotta wait until breakfast, like you
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
Oh man, are you a big caffeine guy, Austin?
I am.
Yeah.
I love my energy drinks. I
Yeah.
actually had to literally force myself to switch over to decaf. So like I drink decaf every morning.
You drink decaf coffee.
Yeah.
Wow, what's that like? Why? You just like the
I
taste?
mean, yeah, personally, I honestly do like the taste of coffee.
Okay.
Um, and like before I used to drink like full caffeine, and I just could feel myself like building up like way too much of a tolerance. And like, so I was like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't
Well,
want to
that makes
be,
sense if you like the taste.
yeah. I don't want to be one of those people who like, I don't know if you've seen like TikToks or like Instagram reels where like they're like, oh, I drink, I used to drink like a couple monsters a day or like a couple bangs a day. And then like it cuts to them like in a gurney in a hospital. I'm like,
yep. Oh, fuck. That's a little bit scary.
mm-hmm.
But that, I think a lot of people also like that. Hopefully my aunt doesn't watch this, but my aunt, like whenever I see her, she talks about how bad energy drinks are, but they're not bad if you're having one. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
what 150 milligrams if it's a monster of caffeine. That's a
Yeah.
normal amount of caffeine one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're completely safe, but yeah, I don't know how many of those kids are drinking. That's
Yeah, seriously,
crazy.
dude. Yeah, it's crazy. And like thinking back to it, like I used to work in a restaurant, and like, dude, people in a restaurant, it's like freaking stimulants and drug central, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
workers.
Like, yeah. Yeah,
Holy shit.
all like the back the back of the house, the front of the house, everyone's like smoking and fucking drinking all the time
Oh
and
my
like
God.
slamming energy drinks and like doing, certain illegal substances as well.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Okay. Here's like one that might hit or miss, but like, do you ever get DMs from people that send you their workout program on Instagram, or maybe they email it to you and it's like fucking ridiculous?
Yes, I have gotten quite a few of those.
Isn't that crazy what people are doing in the gym?
Yeah, it's like fucking like 10 exercises, and they're all like 4x20. I'm like, oh, what are you doing?
Where did you get this?
Yeah, seriously.
Well, actually, it's just their notes app, right? And they just made it. They put every exercise and they're like, fuck it, we're doing everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like they just scroll through social media. Anyone who says this is a good exercise, they're like, I'm gonna put that down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that in. And then it's always 4x20, and it's
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
yeah.
I think that was all my questions, man. What is a question you think I should have asked you that I didn't?
I don't know.
Yeah. That was one of the questions I read
Yeah.
online.
I mean,
I
do you
Googled.
have any like common client questions that you like get all the time? And then we can both kind of like jive on that and like
Oh well, recently actually, let's drive on alcohol. What do you tell your clients when they're starting out with alcohol? Like consumption at all. Let's say a client comes to you, they want to lose fat, and they tell you right now they're drinking 3 to 5 times per week, 1 to 2, 1 to 3 servings at each time. So they're drinking like a case of beer a week. What would you
shit,
tell
that's a
them?
lot. Yeah.
What would you do?
Yeah. So yeah, first off, I like get a sense of like where they're currently at and like what their relationship with alcohol like looks like. Because like for some people, like it makes sense to teach them like moderation, that like, hey, you can actually build alcohol into your diet, and given that you hit your calories and all that, you're gonna be good to go. But also like if they're like constantly having drinks, or they're having a shit ton, or they're constantly binging, then it's like, okay, we need to like actually have a serious conversation about this. And it's like, why exactly do you feel the need to like drink all the time? And like
Right.
I basically start from there. And then you know and if they say like, if they kind of have like a good relationship with alcohol, then like, okay, we can work on moderation. We can say, hey, just as long as you track these, as long as you hit these numbers, you're gonna be good, and people get results because they're hitting the numbers. But also if it's like a more like serious conversation, and like they feel like they just need to have it for whatever reason, or it's just like a habit that they built up, but they don't really need, or like, or what's the word I'm looking for? Not really need, because that just sounds like an addiction, but like they just feel like it's so ingrained into their day that like I get off at work, I go home, I just have to pop a few beers.
Yeah.
So like with that, it's like having a serious conversation, and like let's try not having alcohol for like a certain period of time. And then
Yeah, a challenge,
yeah,
man. That's what I do
yeah,
too.
yeah.
They work so well.
Mm-hmm.
7 days and then you extend it. But also,
Yeah.
dude, I find that once you force them to not drink alcohol, and their goal is fat loss, like they sign up for fat
Yeah.
loss and they start losing a shit ton of weight. They stop overeating, they stop binging. They're like, why didn't I do this earlier, bro? Like, I don't need alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy
Yeah.
shit. If you're listening to this right now, stop drinking if you want to lose fat. Alcohol is
yeah,
horrible.
yeah, yeah. For the listener, like give yourself, like anywhere between like 14 to like 30 days and saying like, I'm not going to have a single drink, and then see how you feel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you drink, Austin?
Um, Occasionally, honestly, only socially. I don't really drink that much. Like if I had to put a number on it, I probably drink like maybe once or twice like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I hate it. Maybe it's just our INTJ T and A. Turbulent and assertive architects over here don't really drink.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Like I've never been a person who's like, I don't have an like addictive personality.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah. Like
Oh, wow.
Honestly, I've used substances before, and then but then I've never at the point of like, oh man, I really feel like I need this. I'm just like, I'm good. That was a good experience, Like I don't really feel the need to like go out of my way and like get it.
What about like social media and like our job kind of like you have very repetitive tasks. You never get like addicted to like that process? I feel like you are, bro, because your Instagram is like very aesthetic. Every cover page is like very beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
I only recently started doing that.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's lucky an addiction, bro. You have a problem. No, I'm kidding.
We're actually having an intervention right now.
Yeah, positive addiction. Positive addiction.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's an addiction. Like
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to really say it, like I guess I have an addiction to like really perfecting the things that like I pursue, like perfecting my craft.
Well said. Yeah. Okay, so I've gotten a warning here. Zoom popped up, running out of time. This meeting will end in 10 minutes. Upgrade now. So I want to give you time to shout out where the listeners can find you because you post great informational content on multiple platforms and coaching services. So where can they find you?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, if you just Google Austin Chan Fitness, that's basically my handle on everything. I am on Instagram, TikTok. I have a website, austinchan.com, austinchanfitness.com. I also do a podcast where I upload weekly episodes. Build a Better You, that's what it's called. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where you can find me and poke around and look at my stuff.
Yeah, Austin has a great podcast and he's actually going to teach me a lesson right now. What is the proper etiquette for stopping a podcast with a guest? Do you just end it or do you pause recording?
I typically just pause recording.
Okay. So
And
we're going to
then
do
like
that right now.
yeah.
All right. Peace out, listeners.
All right. See you.